are not able to retain the good human resource. That is one of the challenge of the audit firms. But within that, whatever limitation they have got, they have to deploy a good human resource. Only then they will be able to render the quality services to the client. And therefore the human resource becomes the most important. It is not that at the time, then how do you judge that it's a good human resource? And to make it a good human resource, there has to be a very good recruitment policies. How do you recruit? Or you do the recruitment only by some sipari somebody do. Somebody says that because he is my relative, please keep it in your audit firm. If you do the recruitment of your human resource and employees like this, certainly you can't render a quality service because you have not a good quality human resource. So your recruitment policies, your pays, perks has to be good, your recruitment has to be independent, and the training of those human resources. Because in case of the audit firm, the importance is, you see nowadays every day the lot of changes within the economy. The laws are changing, there is a income tax law has changed, the Companies Act is changing, the goods and service tax is coming, and lot of new development is coming within the economy, and the chartered accountants firm has to keep pace with them. Only then they can issue the quality audit report. For that purpose, they should have a system that their employees how they will update themselves, how they will update their employees. There should be a continuous training of the human resource. So they should have a recruitment policies, they should have a good human resource policies, there, the pay, perks, everything, timings, everything, and the leaves, and all these are the points which they have to decide. They should have a good training infrastructure with them, or they can send their guys to have a training from outside, and all these one. So that's one of the basic element, because to render a good quality services, you should have a good human resource. That is the most important part of the element of quality control. The managing partner of the audit firm will ensure that they have to prescribe the policies and procedure for recruitment of the human resource employees. They have to prescribe that the perks and pays of the employees. They have to prescribe what will be the type of training they will be imparting to the employees. So that's about the human resource, and that's one of the important element of quality control. Now next is about the engagement. You see, we have a different type of the quality control. We have a different standards. We have a SA 220, which talks about the quality control of particular engagement. Maybe that the firm has 50 audits. Hindustan Lever, ONGC, BHEL, these are the audits of that company. Now how they will control the quality of the particular audit of ONGC? We have got a different standards for SA 220. What we are talking about here, the quality control at the firm level. Now the engagement performance. You see how they will perform the particular engagement. There should be policies and procedure for it. Particular engagement. We are not talking about that, we are not making, but you see, for all the engagement, how they should do. They must have a policy like this, engagement performance. What should be the policies and procedure for it? To maintain a quality services. Take the case, you have an audit of, suppose BHEL. It's an engineering company. You want to constitute an audit team for it. You should have a procedure that we will be sending or constituting an audit team in the quality control policy of the engagement of performance. You must have written there that the audit team for the particular engagement will be constituted based on their experience. whether they have experience in that type of industry or that type of companies. They should be independent, this should be like this. So for the particular performing the engagement performance, how they will evaluate the engagement. For all engagement they have said how the firm will monitor it, whether there is a quality control person for maintaining it, whether there is engagement partners for it, whether we will appoint one engagement partner who will monitor that particular engagement. So these types of engagement performance, they have a certain policies and procedure. They are not talking about the particular one, but they are talking that any engagement they will do, what policies and procedures they will follow for performing or completing and starting that engagement. And above all, they must have a monitoring policies and procedure. In the quality control, they must monitor, but whatever they have done, they have a certain policies and procedure of this element of quality control. They have a very good human resource. They have a good policies for acceptance monitoring. Whether the work is being done like this only, whatever they have a policies and procedures, whether their human resources are functioning well, whether they are being trained well, whether they are being paid well, whether their grievances are being taken care of, there must be a system of monitoring. The managing partners is responsible for maintaining the quality control, quality elements in the firm. So he has to design the policies and procedure for monitoring these all elements of the quality controls. So there has to be a monitoring system. Maybe the monitoring system may be that there is he will say that for every whatever engagement they will do, there will be independent partners who will verify. Apart from the engagement partners, the quality, there will be one partner which will be called the quality control partners, and he will also see that the documentations of that particular audit. There is one partner who will see that whether the trainings are being given to their all employees as per the policy and procedure of the firm. So these are being monitors. These are being monitors. Whether how much should be the expenditure from the trainings, whether they are being monitors. These are all other things. There should be a policies and procedure for the monitoring, and combination of all these one will create a platform, will create infrastructures for delivery of the quality reports. And because if you follow all these elements of the quality controls, and you are creating infrastructures for rendering a good services to the clients. So that is what the SQC1 is. That SQC1. Dear student, as I told you that our approach will be that you have to be exposed to the practical situations. You are already exposed. You are on the verge of completing your articleship training, where you have done a number of audits during that 3 years. We are taking this is case study 1. We will be discussing this case study just to, as I told you in the beginning, in the auditing you will have a situation based questions. Now we have studied, we have discussed the SQC1. I am taking one situations. This is, we are calling it a case. How that particular element of quality controls will be applied in these situations. And I am reading that one. Client acceptance consideration. That is one of the element of the quality control. Mr. John is a partner of the Messrs. JKN and Company, a firm of chartered accountants, which has been invited by the board of directors of Trenka Limited to accept appointment as external auditors. Trenka Limited operates a number of car dealerships and has grown rapidly over the past 3 years through an aggressive takeover strategy. Mr. John is aware that the company existing auditor, a much smaller firm, qualified their last auditor's report. During discussion, the CFO of Trenka Limited maintained that their existing auditors could not cope with the audit of a company of their size, and particular were not equipped to audit the recently installed sophisticated accounting software. He communicated that their company needed a firm of reputation and caliber like Messrs. JK & Company in order to reassure the market as they intend to seek a public listing within 2 years. A background check on the prospective client Messrs. JK & Company revealed as follows. Management gives us insufficient consideration to developing an accounting system adequate and appropriate to the expanding business. In particular, there is a lack of concern as to control. A number of petty employees frauds as a result of control weakness have been reported. However, no action is taken against the employees identified as engaged in fraud. The management attitude seems to be encourage risk-taking employees who in turn make money on the side while securing a good deals for the company. This is the case study. There is a one we have studied what are the elements of the quality control. How the firm, at the firm level, you will be delivering a good quality report, audit report to the client. This is the one of the case. And case of one of the element of the quality control is the acceptance of the client relationship. Whether you should accept or you should discontinue the client relationship if you have a certain existing clients. So this is the case when the new clients is coming to JK and Company, whether they should accept this client, because this is one of the element of quality control, because ultimately they have to audit it, and whether what the consideration, what types of acceptance consideration is that whether they will be able to give a quality report of this client or not. Because if you are not, you will be able to deliver a quality audit report. Ultimately, there is a problem of the quality control in your firm. So Mr. John is a partner, and the one company, Trenka Limited, came to their partner that we want to change the auditor, and because the earlier auditors is not they are not that much of capable, they have no staff, they are not equipped. They are all traditional persons, and our company is of a big size. The CFO shares a very big size, and we want to employ and give you the work of auditing to JK and Company. Certainly, every audit firm wants to increase its business. It is a very happy situation. But as I told you that the firm has to create the policies and procedure for acceptance of the client relationship. So whether you should accept it, you should do the background checkup of this client. And what background checkup they did? They found that, you see, why they want to change the auditor? Because the earlier auditors has qualified the reports. They are not happy with that auditor because he qualified the report. He gives a qualification in the audit reports. Now, that is the one thing. Another is that there are a lot of small frauds within the companies. There are no good internal control system within the companies. So these are some of the basic weaknesses. What the client is saying, no, they are in a bigger size and that auditor is not able to cope up this. Such type of the questions arises how to react in that situation. Whether to accept or not to accept this client. You have to go as per the acceptance policies. The question is that you have to discuss with the companies. You have to put your point, and that has to be put in very confidentially. You may talk with the earlier auditor. We have also the legal procedure for it. Whenever anybody wants to change auditors, we as an audit firm, as per our ethics, we have to ask and take no objection for the earlier auditor. That we will be doing. But besides that, you should speak to the earlier auditors also, confidentially, on telephone or somewhere, not in writing, so that you understand that client. What is the actual thing? Why you want to shift from one auditor to another auditors? Then you came to know all these things. Then you have to discuss among the partners that whether we should accept this client. And if you have to accept this client, what should be your fees? What should type of, whether we have got a resources for such type of companies, because if their companies have no adequate internal control system, you have to do more checking. Whether we have got there are a lot of frauds in that company, small frauds. What types of, whether we have got a competent staff, the human resource to deal with this one type of situations. And whether after all, when after that when will be, if you have to also to qualify the reports, whether this client will still remain with you after qualifying, whether he is going to accept those qualifications, or he will next year he will also say that no, we don't want to keep this audit firm, we want to go to another audit firm. All these consideration has to be discussed among the partners, and the firm has to take decisions. Generally, in such cases, the firm may not accept the auditors, and if the firm accept the audit, it will accept to the certain that will have effect on the fees. They will tell to the client maybe that under these circumstances you may have some qualification, still you are very adverse to the qualifications, may not be that we can't do. We will be giving, we will be employing a good people to your firm and everything, human resource. But you see, they will go as per the auditing principles. Whether after all discussion, whether the client accept you, whether your firm within that, your policies and procedure, the partners decide that yes, we go for this client. So these are the situations. These are the situations on which you have to decide. There can't be one answers for these situations. Some firm may say yes, some may not say no. So that's but as I told you that in the paper of auditing, there will be no one answer for, because it's a situation, it's a question of opinion. Opinion may differ from one auditor to another auditors. What is more important, that how you have arrived the answer, that's more important. There is a certain concept, principle for it, how you applied that principle to the situation and how you derive the answers, what is your conclusion based on the particular principles. Answer may differ. In the exam, there are no marks for the answers. The marks are steps. Whether you have applied the principle correctly to this particular situation and derived the answers on that basis, that's important, which will give you marks. So there are some other case study in that one, and please go to that case study. In this case study, what they have answered is what factors should partners should consider and against accepting the appointment, as I have explained to you. In case the acceptance appointment, what matters should be taken to kind of obtaining the required knowledge. So these are all they will be discussing. What types of company it is, an automobile company, whether we have a competence to do the automobiles company audit. That is another point which they have to consider. Whether they have a human resource who have got experience, the audit team, they have experience of the automobiles, whether we are competent to do it. These are some of the points with this JKN and company will be considering before accepting this client. So that is the quality control of the audit. So dear students, we have discussed today the overview of your syllabus, from where which is important, which is less important. We have discussed what is auditing, what we have discussed what is the difference between the standard and auditing, guidance note statements. We have discussed one of the important quality control standard, that is called SQC1. And I hope that after these lectures, you go through your study modules. Study module 1, first chapter, and in case of you have, because the standard and SQC1 is not written in your first chapters, because you have got a separate book for pronouncement of the Institute of Chartered Accountant, various pronouncement, and they are only the text, not very good. but it's a bulky one also. That's why I suggest, please, you can purchase the book Student Guide to Auditing Standards. It's written by me, which gives you a very simple answers for and simple commentary on these auditing standards, and you will find this standard on quality control there also. So thank you very much.